All right, so we're going to go over the trades from today, finishing the week Friday with a red day. But good news is I hit my goal today. Wait a second. How can I hit my goal and be red? My goal is not about how much I make. My goal is to maintain calm, cool, collected composure. It's to not spiral. And I didn't spiral. Today I'm down $600. It's no big deal. It's not a big deal. So I actually had 2 red days this week, and they were both small red days, and I had 3 green days, and they were decent green days. So it's a green week. It's a green month right now. Life is good. But let's look at today's trades. So today, as I sat down this morning, boy, it was tough because our leading gapper was only 38%. Right now, our leading gainer in the entire market right now is 38%. The market should be ashamed of itself. This is pathetic. This is a tiny gapper. So the fact is, there was not a lot to trade. Now, I could have not traded at all, and that actually would have been, I suppose, the better move. I traded 3 stocks. I'm green on 1 and red on the other 2, down $672. And my first trade was on Roma, which, you know, is this Chinese IPO, which I really didn't like, didn't really trust it. Made some money on it yesterday, gave back that profit today, but you know, whatever. So this morning, nothing was looking good. And I guess I'll just open up my gap scanner here and show you what it looked like pre-market. So this is what the scan looked like pre-market. Leading gapper was AUVI at 25%. Okay, it tried a little move, but look at this rejection right there to there. That's gross. So really choppy. It popped up early and I was like, nope, don't like it. Didn't trade it. AERT up 19%. There's nothing. There was nothing there. That one's not interesting either. MDAI, this one I considered, but it just couldn't hold up. You know, kind of made this move. Actually, no, sorry, I did take a trade on it at the open. I considered it pre-market and I didn't take any trades on it right in here. At the open, it broke through here and I got in at 350. I got profit at 355 and then I added back on the dip. So let me get this 1-minute chart so you can see it more clearly. Okay, so on this one, I got in at 350. I took profit at 365 and I was up like $300, small share size. Then I got back in at 350 thinking it would hold support at the $0.50 and then we would, you know, curl back up. Anyways, it flushes down to 330 and I stopped out and went red. So down 239 on MDAI. No big deal, but yeah, so that's that. And then Roma, you can see here, is up 13%. So my trade on this one was it pre-market or right at the open? I think it was pre-market. Yeah. So it pops up here and I was like, okay, here we go. We got something moving. And at that moment, this was the only thing moving and I was like, okay, here we go. So I got in at 5 and then just kind of stalled out there. Anyways, I stopped out as it dropped back down and lost $800. You know, I probably bought too many shares of it. I started with 2,000, but I added until I had 10,000. I think I was just like, you know, all I need to get is 10, 15 cents. I'll have one little trade and that'll be it. But anyways, lost 800 on that one. So that put me in the red 800 on the day. And then I had, the next trade was on Nexi. NEXI. So this one, you know, I've traded it a few times in the last couple of weeks because it's been moving. This morning, we had this descending resistance line. It broke over that, and as it squeezed up, I got in at 13. It went up to 13.46, made $400 on it. Kind of a small winner. It's 46-cent move, but sort of a small winner. And then it reversed and ended up selling off. So not really a great trade, but made $410 on that, I guess. And then, so at that point I was down 400 on the day, and then I had that final trade on MDAI. I gave today a rating of a 0 when I first sat down because the leading gapper was like 28%. And then I was like, okay, maybe I can give it a 1 because there's a couple of stocks moving. I just don't really like them, but there are some stocks moving. But today was a very low rating. Let me refer to yesterday. So let's see. Yesterday I rated as a 2. Yesterday was a 2. Today's a 1. So it's Friday. And I'm going to note here, leading gapper only 30%. Yesterday the leading gapper was only 33%. So yesterday wasn't great either, but we did end up getting some moves as the day went on. Today, that wasn't really the case. GMBL popped up, but it just popped in reverse. It was very short-lived. And on light volume, I don't know, kind of hard to trade that. So this week, let's see, Monday was a 4. Tuesday was a 2, Wednesday was a 2 to a 3, Thursday was a 2, and then Friday was a 1. So it's been slow, and we're kind of in between big moves. The last big move that we had was on LBPH last week. It was like last Tuesday. This one squeezed up here all the way up to from 50. Well, the day before it was at 8, and it goes up to 25. But yeah, it's been like a little while since we had a really big move on anything. Back in December, about a month ago, we had some nice moves on a couple of stocks. It was VVOS and a couple others. Let's see what those charts are looking like now. So yeah, this one had this day here. This was a big day, right? So this triggered some real momentum for the next couple weeks, but it's been a little while since we saw a candle like that. So I'm kind of waiting for, the next day like that. And the thing that I said today was, listen, I'm down $400, 500, 600, whatever. Is today the day I should push it? And the answer was definitely no. The gap scanner is not good today. The gainer scanner is not any better. We don't have anything really moving. Save it. Save that risk. Don't worry about it. It's a small loss today. There is no point in pushing hard to try to make it back on a day like today. So, step back, slow down, and come back on a day when it's hot. On a day when it's hot, that's the day to dig deep and lean in. So the thing is, an AUVI or something like that, you just never know. Like maybe later in the afternoon, we will get something that makes a move. What I kind of suspect will happen, and I don't think it's going to happen today, but what I expect will happen is, we'll have a stock that was sort of blah pre-market, but it doesn't give up. And then sort of into the afternoon, it starts creeping just like a little higher. And then we start to get that squeeze and it pulls away. And that'll probably be what starts the next round. That's my guess, because it's going to kind of catch people off guard. People are going to be surprised, and that's going to trigger some FOMO. But it's also possible that we'll just have something pre-market that's super strong and just goes really high. The only problem with that is a lot of those really big pre-market moves, as awesome as they are, a lot of times by the time the bell rings, they fade. We haven't had a really good one like that has then gone another 200 or 300% when the bell rings. We kind of have the big move pre-market, and then it's like over when the bell rings. So I'd like to see a big move pre-market, pullback, and then even higher. But, it could be big move pre-market, this sideways, and then kind of curling, and then straight up. We did have something like that not that long ago, like November, December. So yeah, so for right now, kind of a slow day, just not a lot that looked good. And I saw some people that did get some trades on MDAI, AUVI, some net trades on Nexi. Those were fine. A couple people got trades on GMBL. There was another one in here I saw people talking about. There were a couple of penny stocks that were moving that some people were talking about, but of course I didn't trade those. GRTS, a little bit more of a grinder. Some of the crypto stocks people have been focusing on quite a bit this week with the Bitcoin ETF, but right now a little bit of a pullback. I guess Bitcoin's been pulling back as well. I really don't pay attention to cryptocurrencies, but I know that they've been talked about quite a bit. So overall market, yesterday we had CPI numbers come out. So you can see right at 8:30 yesterday morning, the market kind of popped and then dropped, and then kind of came up and then sold off during the day, rallied back up, closed, definitely lower than yesterday's open, but not down too much. Today we're, kind of sideways right now. We sort of moved up, came back down. Nothing too exciting here. So overall market on the daily chart, hanging out near the highs. It's not terrific that the CPI number came in a little higher than anticipated, just because the market is basically hovering at the highs. But you know, obviously investors want inflation to go down so interest rates can go down. And I know that a lot of people correlate a decrease in interest rates with recessionary periods because historically the Federal Reserve has dropped interest rates during recessions in order to spur the economy. In this case, we had something very different happen, which was they increased interest rates to slow down the economy. And now lending is very expensive, and it's been tough for a lot of big businesses that depend on lending for growing their businesses. It's been tough for a lot of the venture capital firms, startups especially. It's been hard for real estate. So getting back into an environment where money is cheaper to borrow actually certainly would stimulate the economy. The risk is that it would also, it could send inflation back up, right? Because then people have disposable income and can start buying stuff. So it's a delicate balance. And right now, when we get those CPI numbers, the market watches them really closely because people are, you know, they want to see inflation's coming down, which means the market's recovering, and well, which means the economy is going to be soon recovering as we're able to go into a environment where money is easy to borrow. But you know, it's not going to happen overnight. So anyways, that's kind of where I'm at here for the end of the week. Markets closed on Monday. We've got a market holiday, Martin Luther King. So markets closed on Monday, and we'll be back at it on Tuesday. As I had mentioned, you know, we have, it's about 10, 15 market holidays each year. So, you know, every 4 to 5 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, we've got another market holiday. So this is giving us a long weekend, which again is not surprising why it's a little slow today, Friday going into a long weekend. No one wants to take trades that they're going to hold until Monday. So swing traders are maybe cashing out, getting out of the way. Day traders, no one wants to take a huge loss before the long weekend. So people are being a little more conservative. And then probably not a lot of companies putting out a lot of great news before the long weekend, where it just gets kind of buried and forgotten. So hopefully we see some good headlines early next week and we can get next week off to a good start. But, you know, short weeks are always a little funny. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Hopefully we see some good action. So that's it for me. I'll remind you as always that trading is risky. My results aren't typical. So manage your risk, take it slow, and practice as simulator. And if you haven't already checked out episode 2 of my small account challenge, it is uploaded. So you can check that out. It'll be posted right here. And I appreciate you guys hitting the thumbs up on that video because I'm trying to get 10,000 thumbs up so I can unlock my newest piece of inventory, which will be a new monitor to replace this one right here, which as you can see is broken and is now flickering along in the middle, which is terribly distracting. So I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you back here on Tuesday morning.